हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम यू ऑल टू 5paisa यूट्यूब चैनल और मैं हूं आपके साथ इंद्र चौधरी। क्या आपको पता है कि हमारे देश में कौन सा ऐसा स्टेट है जहां सबसे ज्यादा स्टॉक मार्केट इन्वेस्टर्स मौजूद हैं? महाराष्ट्र अकेले एक ऐसा राज्य है जहां हमारे देश के लाखों करोड़ों इन्वेस्टर्स में से 1/5 इन्वेस्टर्स यहां से बिलोंग करते हैं। मतलब महाराष्ट्र में सबसे ज्यादा एक्टिव स्टॉक मार्केट इन्वेस्टर्स हैं। इसके बाद नंबर आता है गुजरात, तमिलनाडु, वेस्ट बंगाल एंड उत्तर प्रदेश का। तो ये 5 ऐसे स्टेट्स हैं जहां देश के सबसे ज्यादा लोग स्टॉक मार्केट में निवेश करते हैं। वन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट, इंडिया के लाखों करोड़ों इन्वेस्टर्स में से करीब 60% इन्वेस्टर्स इन राज्यों में ही एक्टिव हैं। यू मस्ट बी वंडरिंग कौन है ये सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर्स और कैसे इन्होंने स्टॉक मार्केट में सफलता हासिल की। कैसे ये हम जैसे आम लोग खास बन गए और इक्विटी मार्केट में अपनी एक अलग जगह कायम की। ये जानने के लिए हम आपके लिए लेकर आए हैं ये यूनिक सीरीज टेल्स ऑफ सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर्स। इस सीरीज में हम आपको मिलवाएंगे इंडिया के अलग अलग स्टेट में मौजूद ऐसे इन्वेस्टर्स से जिन्होंने स्टॉक मार्केट में सक्सेस हासिल की, एक मजबूत पोर्टफोलियो तैयार किया और शानदार रिटर्न भी कमाया है। टेल्स ऑफ सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर्स के पहले गेस्ट हैं मिस्टर के.एम. गोहिल। मिस्टर गोहिल गुजरात के भावनगर में रहते हैं और ये एक जाने माने ईएनटी स्पेशलिस्ट है। फिलहाल मिस्टर गोहिल श्री साई ईएनटी हॉस्पिटल के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। साल 2010 से मिस्टर गोहिल एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेंट है स्टॉक मार्केट में। 2012 से 2017 तक मिस्टर गोहिल ने एमसीएक्स यानी कमोडिटी मार्केट में ट्रेड किया। इसके बाद 2018 से मिस्टर गोहिल ऑप्शन सेलिंग सेगमेंट में एक्टिव है और अब 2019 से ये मल्टीपल पोर्टफोलियोज को हैंडल भी कर रहे हैं। मिस्टर गोहिल का ट्रेडिंग मंत्र है मनी अट्रैक्ट्स मनी। मिस्टर गोहिल, 5paisa के प्लेटफॉर्म में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
थैंक यू।
एक डॉक्टर से एक सफल निवेशक तक का सफर आपका कैसा रहा, कैसे शुरुआत हुई, ये सबसे पहले हम जानना चाहते हैं।
2004, I passed my MSc and after 2004 to 7, I work in one private hospital. Till 2007, I didn't know anything about market, and after 2007, I start my own clinic. And there is one guy I narrated my journey with simple. There is a 5 teachers and a guru. The first guru that I mentioned is a guy that working in my hospital, Mr. Nazir Tanani, is a very well technical guy, and he introduced me in a market. First, he opened the demat account, and he says that you just start trading. Initially, I start trading in option. With I'm at that time doing option buying. But what happened that whatever I'm choosing my strike, I'm choosing my target. But at one time I achieve, underlying is achieve the target, but option is not become profitable. 2012, that I decide that I am missing something. So he advised me that why sir you are not try commodity market. Commodity market is all depends on demand and supply. There is no any manipulation, and if you are sound in technicals, then it is useful to you. At that time, mostly the MCX movement starting at 6 p.m. So in the morning hours, I do my OT work, and the evening work is something light. So I think that we can try. At that time, 2012 to 2017, 5 years, I doing my trading in MCX. I at that time not knowing anything about hedging, but what I am doing that I trade in crude, and there is two types of lot there, crude major and crude mini. So what I am doing that I bound one range. If my view is bullish, then I buy the major crude and same time I sold 10 mini lots. So at present I'm knowing it's just like a long straddle, but at that time I'm not knowing anything about straddle or that. So wherever the market break the range, I exit from the loss side and continue the profitable side. So in 2017 option selling, I read some books and some watching some videos, and then I decided that the learning phase is that much now. I want to learn something very seriously regarding option selling. So I met a guy in 2018 August, Mr. P.R. Sundar. P.R. Sundar, what I learned from him is how I build a portfolio. That in a routine as a retailer, if you are doing intraday trading or positional trading, but if you think on the portfolio management, that gives you something extraordinary result. So after attending meeting Mr. P.R. Sundar, on the same year in December 2018, I met another guy. Is Mr. Santosh Pasi. He's a very genuine, dedicated guy, and what I learned from him is that how you manage risk, how you define risk, and another is make a master in once. There is so many things that you do in market, intraday, positional, swing trading, commodity. But one thing that you follow, the one things, and you become master, then it gives you a successful result. And the third guy that I met in March, April 2019 is Mr. Mitesh Patel, and I learned from him is that how you apply the power of compounding. Initially, what I am doing that whatever I earn the profit that I take back on my savings account, but after that I continue deploy this capital and utilize this capital for earning more return. So second things that I learned from him is that flexibility of mind, because market is changing its direction anywhere. But whatever if I am bullish, then initially I am not changing my mind that. But after that, I'm knowing that if market gives you a signal, then change your position accordingly and cut your loss early. And third thing is the aggressiveness, that whenever you are having a conviction and confidence in your trade, you become aggressive. So after 2019 April, I decided that in a 1 year I consistently make a profit since 2018 to 19. So in 2019 November, I passed out exam of NSC Derivative 8 NISM series, and want to handle a multiple portfolio. And in 2020, I start multiple portfolio handling. And in 2018-19, that I earn mainly main I portfolio I earn the 22%, but in 1920 there is I got 42% in my annual return. In 2020-21 I got almost 70% return, and in this current financial year with the 2 months April and May I almost reached above 35%. So this is how I come into market, and at present I'm performing this portfolio management.
आई मस्ट से आपकी काफी इंटरेस्टिंग जर्नी रही है। आप एक ईएनटी स्पेशलिस्ट हैं, इसके बावजूद स्टॉक मार्केट में इंटरेस्ट की वजह से आपने यहाँ पर एंट्री ली, और ना सिर्फ एंट्री ली बल्कि पूरी पढ़ाई की, स्टॉक मार्केट को समझा और उसके बाद यहाँ पर अपने सक्सेस को हासिल किया है। तो अब हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि आखिर आप किस सेगमेंट में ट्रेड करते हैं और इसके पीछे वजह क्या है? आपने उस सेगमेंट को ही खास क्यों चुना?
Whatever I am doing is I am doing index option selling. So I am portfolio management with index option selling. So I give just a brief about that. So why options? So there is three things is available in a trading in a market. One is the cash, second is the derivative in this future and options. Cash segment, when you buy any stocks, so you just enter, hold it and wait for the profit. So it's just like a one-sided opportunity. If market goes up, then and then you get a profit. In future, it's two sides opportunity. If market goes up, you go long, and if market goes down, you go short in future. And in both way, you get profit. But the option is like that. Whatever the market, either market goes up, either market goes down, or it remains sideways. In all conditions, you earn profit. So option is like all time you getting a regular monthly income. Second option is used for a hedging purpose of your portfolio. Whatever you are doing underlying asset, if you buy the put of this assets, so if market goes down, you define your risk and hedge your portfolio. Third things that the options having a luxury that I love very much options in that way that it gives a luxury to select probability. In options you are having a different strike price and every strike price have a different probability. So whatever strike price you choose that almost choose your probability. So I love these options regarding this. In the selling, if you are doing option selling, you get a premium. So whatever the profit, it's just whatever premium you credited. So it cuts your grid. So that is the main advantage in option selling. Second, selling use that increase the probability of profit. Say I am giving you one example that if in last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday there is a weekly expiry, there is a high theta decay. Suppose in a bank nifty at current trading at 33,500 and my view is bullish. So what I am doing, either I buy future or I sell put. So in both way, if morning session market is at 33,500 and slowly going upward, but in afternoon if market goes down and future hit your stop loss, but at the same time your selling option premium is not reached at the morning level. So if you reduce your risk reward in option selling, then there is increase the probability of profit. And third things, the selling gives you a luxury to deploy larger capital. There is no any other way you deploy capital in a market, either by trading in future or option buying. But in option selling, you can deploy any amount of capital. The index that I am choosing, that is because it's a highly liquid instruments. Nifty, Bank Nifty, both it's a highly liquid instrument, not in Indian market, but also in a global market. Second is there is a lesser chances of manipulation, and in an index you are having a luxury to choose a longer expiry. In stock you can choose only a monthly, 1 month period expiry, but in an index you can choose 3 months, 6 month, yearly. That option is also traded with a high liquidity. So all this luxury I get in this index option selling.
सर आपसे समझना चाहेंगे कि ऐसे कौन-कौन से फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स होते हैं जो एक पोर्टफोलियो को मैनेज करने में काम आते हैं?
Okay. So in basically financial market, anything, all instruments that we utilize for investment that made up with three things. First, that how much drawdown is considered in this instrument. Second, the speed of recovery of after drawdown, and third is the consistency of return. So, if any investment instrument that having a lesser drawdown with a high speed of recovery and with a consistent long-term performance, that called a safe, consistent instrument for any investment. So these are the basic themes for my portfolio handling.
हायर रिस्क हायर रिटर्न, ये बात हमने कई बार सुनी है, लेकिन सर आपसे समझना चाहेंगे कि आखिर रिस्क को ट्रेडिंग के दौरान मैनेज कैसे करना चाहिए?
Broadly speaking, there is a two types of risk. One is systematic and second is unsystematic. Unsystematic is like a unique risk or individual risk. Suppose I deploy all my capital in a one stock, just like called Reliance, and if there is any news regarding its promoter, and there is some bad news regarding oil and gas sector. So what happened that the stock is fall drastically. Because of its effect, other stocks are also fall down, but on a sooner or lesser, these stocks become stabilized, but your portfolio become red. So how you nullified or balance this risk? The simple solution is a diversification. You diversified your capital in a different sectors, you diversified your capital in a different assets, so you nullified this unsystematic risk. Second is the systematic risk is just like geopolitical tensions, war, and current scenario there is a corona that affect all the global market, even the Indian market, that affect all the sectors and all the stocks. And this systematic risk is only managed by hedging. So how I build up create my portfolio, that I put my money capital in a liquid fund and that I pledge it with my broker. Currently I am using a 5paisa, and then I take a margin. Second thing, I taking a small frequent trades, high probability each and every day in this portfolio. And then how I manage this portfolio, that how I do diversification. So I diversified my capital in a different instruments. So I am trading in Nifty, I some capital deploy in Bank Nifty. Second, I diversified my capital in both sides. In my portfolio, some trades are in having a put selling, and sometimes it's a call selling. So there is a plus delta, minus delta, so it's called neutralize. Then there is a diversification in different strikes. I don't all my capital in a single strike, but I diversified it different. Like currently, Bank Nifty traded at 34,000. So I sold 33,500 put, 33,000 put, 32,500 put, like that way. Then I also diversified my capital in a different expiry, that I am having a position in a monthly expiry and I am also having a position in weekly expiry, and sometimes I also take a position in a 3 month or 6 month period. Then there is a time diversification. I don't deploy my capital on a single day. I some part of capital deploy on Friday, some on Monday, some on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So by this time diversification, I got lots of opportunity, and that I take capital deployment on a systematic manner. And finally, I diversified my capital in a different strategy. There is a correlation between instrument and strategy. Suppose if you are having a one system, that either you follow moving average crossover, or you can utilize RSI, MACD, super trend, or breakout or pullback strategy. Whatever system you use, if you are stick to this system, then you have to find out a different instrument, different stocks, different index, different currency on that. But if you only trade in a single instrument like Nifty and Bank Nifty, then not a single strategy works all the time. So you have to apply a different strategy. Like if market is trending, I am using a vertical spread, and if market is in a sideways, then I utilize a neutral strategy like straddle, strangle, and iron condor. So this diversification all such that reduce the risk. And one more things like systematic risk. Sometimes it happens that market open gap up, gap down. In option selling, there is only one things that hurt your portfolio. That is the huge gap up and gap down. So sometimes in airstrikes, demonetization, or there is a relief packages, and this on the next day market open a huge gap up and gap down. So that risk we manage with hedging. So every overnight position that I taken, that I take a reinsurance, I buying deep OTM options of that position. So by this hedging, I manage my risk. So this is how I create and manage my portfolio.
आयरन कॉन्डोर की आपने बात कही, आप इस स्ट्रैटेजी को कैसे तैयार करते हैं और कैसे इसे मैनेज करते हैं?
So mostly in my overall portfolio, mostly I'm taking iron condor, and iron condor is nothing but take a position on a both side, call side and put side, selling one put option and buying the next OTM option. Same way, selling call option and buying next OTM option. For example, suppose I am telling you current this week is the third week of May. So I start iron condor with Nifty running at 15,000 to 15,100. So I sold 14,000 put and buy 13,800 put. And same time I sold 16,000 call and buying 16,200 call. Somewhat at near to 1.5 standard deviation distance of this sellings I am doing. Now how I will manage this situation? So after I am deploy the first bunch of this iron condor, at the end of fourth week of this May, and there is a total 4 week in June expiry, I deploy another second bunch of iron condor, whatever the current at that time Nifty. Remaining 2 or 3 weeks, I will manage this only this trade. So iron condor is managed by two ways. One is a shifting method. It's a very simple method that if your market is going up, like to current market is at 15,000, if Nifty is going to 15,200, 400, 500, so what happen? Your put side is become profitable. So you just square off your put spread and shifting to higher side. So currently I am selling 14,000 put and buying 13,800 put. Same way I am selling 14,500 put and buying 14,300 put. Again market goes up, then I am selling 15,000 put and buying 14,800 put. This is simple shifting method. Vice versa, if market goes down, I shift on a call side. If you are having a less capital, then only this method is utilized. But when you are having a larger capital, then you can utilize the extra capital with this strategy. How? Suppose market goes up and your call premium is not decayed and you are getting profit on put side. So what I am doing, that I am whatever the loss comes in a call side, that I hedge with selling the weekly put options. Similar, if market goes down, then I am selling the weekly call option in Nifty, and there is only I manage this trades for 2 to 3 days, because after that there is a high theta decay. So whatever there is a sold premium, that almost going to be zero. So that how I got a extra return with this strategy. So along with shifting, I am balanced this trade with selling extra call and put in a weekly expiry. So this is how I manage IM Condor.
एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर जो हमें आज समझना चाहेंगे कि आप डेट पोर्टफोलियोज को इक्विटी में कैश कवर्ड पुट और कवर्ड कॉल के जरिए किस तरह कन्वर्ट करते हैं.
Okay. So as I am telling you that I made a portfolio with exposure of debt instrument. I totally kept my all capital in a liquid fund. Now as I am getting profit, so what I am doing with this profit? So suppose if I am having a profit of 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs or more than that, then how I switch over to equity? So suppose I am giving an example of ITC. So ITC, there is a lot of 3,200, currently traded near to 2,210. Suppose I want to buy ITC at a price of 200. So what I am doing, that I kept the equal amount of capital aside. So there is a 3,200 lot and 200 is the price. So 6,40,000 I kept aside. Now every month I sold 200 put. So if ITC goes above and above, so every month I take a premium. If ITC is closing below 200, like in 195, then there is a 5 rupees loss in my selling put, but at the same time I kept money according to 200 rupees, 6,40,000, so I get a chance to buy it in a cheaper of 5 rupees. So ultimately my base price is 200. After 6 months, 8 months, if whatever I got a premium by selling put, so my total price become 180, 190. So there is no any other assets or no any other way that you buy the asset with such a bargaining price. So it is called a cash covered put. And once I buy this all lots of ITC, then what I am doing, that I am selling every month call option of 5 to 7% distance. So if your stock is not going to return monthly base 5 to 7%, so every month you get a rental income. And suppose your stock is going above that, then what is, you just kept your profit above 5 to 7%. There is also ways to manage this covered call and you finally going get into profit. But if you are doing nothing, then also at least your underlying asset is increased to 5 to 7%. So I think it's giving you a regular rental income. And this is the beauty of options, that you can buy anything at your bargain price and also you get a regular rental income.
मिस्टर गोविंद, जैसा आपने बताया कि आप मल्टीपल पोर्टफोलियोज को हैंडल भी कर रहे हैं अब, तो आप किन बातों का ध्यान रखते हैं एक पोर्टफोलियो को तैयार करते वक्त?
First of all, there is a 3 things is required in a creation and management of portfolio. Number 1 is a capital. In our Kathiawadi proverb, it's called 5paisa na kheche, like money attracts money. If you are having a larger capital, then that capital you can utilize for diversification. Second, this capital you can utilize for defending your position. That capital you can utilize for on extra return whenever there is an opportunity. So in option selling, you can start with 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, but for portfolio management, at least you require 25 to 30 lakhs. Second thing is a time. When you look for a longer horizon, that gives you a consistent safe return. But when when you look for a shorter duration, shorter horizon, then there is a fluctuation in return is there. The logic is simple that as time increase, that increase the number of observation. Simple things, if you toss the coin and the probability of head and tail is almost 50%. But same thing if you toss the coin for 10 times, there is chances that 7 times head and 3 times tail. If you toss the coin for 100 times, then it's maybe a 65 35. 1000, then it's a 550 450. But 10,000 1 lakh times, then it's almost near to 50%. So as the number of observations increase, that increase the sensitivity of your probability. So what I am doing, that I am doing taking a small frequent high probability trades, and this high probability reflects only on a longer basis when there is a multiple trade I am taken. Small quantities, so I manage my position size and also manage my risk.
सर आपने स्टॉक मार्केट में सक्सेस हासिल किया, स्टॉक मार्केट को समझा, इसके बाद यहाँ निवेश किया, पोर्टफोलियोज भी मैनेज कर रहे हैं, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि बाकी इन्वेस्टर्स और आप में क्या डिफरेंस है? आपको आपकी सफलता क्यों मिली है? आपकी यूएसपी क्या है? कौन सी ऐसी फैक्टर्स हैं जो आपको बाकी इन्वेस्टर्स से अलग बनाते हैं?
Okay, if you are saying that my since last 10 years that I am also like other traders passing through deep pains and psychological disturbance, and there is ups and downs, but my uniqueness till this journey is my self-analysis. Each and every day whatever I am going to trade, that I just after the market, I analyze my trades, I analyze my psychological point that why I take this much loss. Either I am taking this position early, either my position size is heavy, or market is more volatile. Then and then I take a loss. Then how I improve in a next day. So each and every day I analyze my trades and my psychology. So that build up, there is a one continuous learning process. So I read books, I watch videos, I read some blogs, and I find trying to find out the solutions of all the mistakes. Mistakes is just learning lessons. So if you take these mistakes as a learning lessons, and if you dedicatedly try to find out its solution, then definitely you improve yourself. See, everyone having its own race, but you have to compete with yourself. So I compete with myself since 2010 to 2021, and that is the improvement that I show in my career and in myself itself.
सर आपने हमें काफ़ी अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया कि आपकी पूरी जर्नी कैसी रही, कैसे आपको स्टॉक मार्केट में सक्सेस मिली और आपने किन बातों पर फोकस किया। हम ये चाहते हैं कि आप ये मैसेज हमारे ट्रेडर्स एंड इन्वेस्टर्स को दें जो नए हैं मार्केट में, जिन्होंने अभी मार्केट में एंट्री ली है, तो उन्हें किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए, कैसे वो एक आम निवेशक से खास एक सफल निवेशक बन सकते हैं।
So as a new trader, I'm only giving one advice that always try to start with small frequent trades. See, whatever system, because every trader having a different systems. So if you are not giving a sufficient time to this particular system, then you are not knowing the exact results of it. See, as I am telling you, as you increase the number of observations, then and then you know the exact probability of your systems, that how it's profitable. So always start with a small quantity and doing with a longer time horizon. You at least give a 3 months, 6 months, 1 year period to these systems, and then you see the results, that how much trades is profitable, how much loss, how much it's drawdown, and how much the recovery after drawdown this system gives. then you become confident in your system. So always give time to your system and trade with a small quantity and keep patience. So nothing is achieved overnight. It's a long journey. Learning process is a never-ending process. So always try to learn and modify your strategies, your self psychology, and that's all.
मिस्टर गोहिल, आप 5paisa प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ भी जुड़े हुए हैं, तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा है ये हम जानना चाहते हैं।
Okay, since 2018, the first portfolio I made up with 5paisa. So my portfolio management journey is starting with 5paisa only. And in these 3 years, I am totally satisfied. But see, I never post my M2M screenshot in social media. I never tagged any handle to show publicity of my M2M screenshots and my results. But still, someone noted my consistent performance, and that's none other than my broker, 5paisa. And I'm highly delightful that whatever mission you start to sharing the knowledge of a successful trader, that is useful to a new trader and beginners, that what mistakes that avoid, and this sharing knowledge of done by with your mission. So I am highly thankful to you for choosing me as a part of it, and thank you very much from my heart.
सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए। बहुत मज़ा आया आपसे बात करके और काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें पता चली हैं, और जितने भी हमारे साथ व्यूअर्स जुड़े हैं उनको भी ये बात समझ में आई होगी कि आखिर स्टॉक मार्केट में सफलता हासिल करने के पीछे क्या सीक्रेट है, आपको क्या फोकस करना चाहिए, किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए। सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग इन।
Thank you very much, and thank you 5paisa for giving me this opportunity, and I'm highly delightful. Thank you.
केस ऑफ सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर में आज के लिए इतना ही। हम एक बार फिर हाजिर होंगे एक नई स्टोरी के साथ, एक नए सक्सेसफुल इन्वेस्टर से आपको मिलवाएंगे। तो बने रहिए 5paisa के साथ। हमारे YouTube चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, क्योंकि यहाँ पर आपको फाइनेंशियल मार्केट, स्टॉक मार्केट, हमारे प्रोडक्ट से जुड़े सभी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलते हैं। सो डू सब्सक्राइब आवर YouTube चैनल एंड हिट द बेल आइकन। 5paisa के साथ अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट जर्नी की शुरुआत करने के लिए आपको बस प्ले स्टोर या ऐप स्टोर से 5paisa मोबाइल ऐप को डाउनलोड करना है, और बस 5 मिनट में 5 स्टेप्स फॉलो करके आप 5paisa के साथ अपना फ्री डीमैट अकाउंट ओपन कर सकते हैं। तो फिर देर किस बात की है, उठाइए अपना फोन और डाउनलोड कीजिए अपनी 5paisa मोबाइल ऐप।
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully.